Mist drifts slowly across the Japanese countryside at dawn. Fields breathe under the first light of morning. The world feels quiet, as if it is listening. This is where our story begins. Not with a battle, not with a victory, but with a question. How does a man become a legend without ever trying to be one? His name was Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi was born during a time of unrest, when Japan was still healing from war. It was an era where strength was measured by the sword, and survival depended on discipline. He was not raised in luxury. He did not belong to a powerful clan. From a young age, he learned to rely on himself. Even as a child, Musashi was different, quiet, observant. He watched the world more than he spoke to it. At just 13 years old, Musashi fought his first duel. It was not elegant, it was not heroic, but he survived. And in that moment, he learned a truth that would guide him for the rest of his life. Victory does not belong to the strongest, but to the one who understands. From that day on, Musashi began to walk. He walked through villages and forests, across mountains, temples, and open roads. He carried no home, no master, no fixed destination. Musashi became a ronin, a samurai without a lord. But unlike others who wandered in search of fame or employment, Musashi wandered in search of something deeper. He was searching for the way. Over the years, Musashi challenged skilled swordsmen across Japan, not out of arrogance, but curiosity. Each duel was a lesson, each opponent a mirror. He noticed patterns others ignored. The hesitation before an attack, the tension in the shoulders, the ego hidden beneath polished technique. Slowly, Musashi realized something important. The greatest enemy is not the person in front of you, but the mind that clings to one fixed way of thinking. So he broke tradition. He fought with wooden swords. He altered his timing. He disrupted expectations, not to intimidate, but to reveal truth. His style was not graceful. It was not beautiful, but it was honest. Over time, Musashi developed what would later be known as Niten Ichi-ryū, the way of two swords. One sword in each hand. This was not a trick, it was a philosophy. To Musashi, wielding two swords meant refusing dependence on a single tool, a single belief, or a single identity. While others trained only their bodies, Musashi trained his perception. He studied the flow of water, the movement of wind through trees, the way people behaved when they felt confident and when they felt afraid. He understood that combat does not begin when swords collide. It begins in posture, in breath, in intention. As years passed, Musashi's reputation grew. He became respected and feared. But instead of clinging to his status, he chose something unexpected. He stepped away. Victory over others no longer taught him what he needed to learn. The real challenge was now within. Musashi withdrew into solitude, into temples, into caves and quiet places. There, he began to write, not to teach others how to fight, but how to see. This became the Book of Five Rings, Go-Rin no Sho. In it, Musashi speaks not only of strategy, but of life itself. The Earth Ring, understanding foundations and reality as it is. The Water Ring, adaptability, flexibility, and flow. The Fire Ring, decisive action in moments of conflict. The Wind Ring, understanding other paths, without arrogance. And finally, the Void. The Void is the most difficult concept of all. It is not emptiness, it is clarity. It is action without ego, movement without fear, presence without attachment. Musashi wrote, in the void, there is virtue, wisdom exists, the way exists. As his health declined, Musashi knew his time was ending, but he was not troubled. He had lived honestly, without illusion, without regret. Before his death, he wrote one final work, Docket, The Way of Walking Alone. Simple principles, uncompromising truths. Do not cling to pleasure. Do not depend on possessions. Do not fear death. Do not chase what you do not need. These were not harsh rules. They were expressions of freedom. In 1645, Miyamoto Musashi died calmly, seated upright, at peace, not as a warrior chasing glory, but as a man who had understood himself. Today, centuries later, his legacy remains, not because of the duels he won, but because of the clarity he left behind. Musashi teaches us that true mastery is not about conquering the world, but about seeing it clearly, that the warrior's path is not violence, but inner discipline, that the hardest sword to wield is the mind, and that within the void, we do not lose ourselves, we find freedom. If this story resonated with you, take a moment to reflect. Are you walking your own path, or following one chosen by others? If you enjoyed this journey into ancient wisdom, like the video, subscribe for more stories, and share it with someone who might need it today. The path is still there. You only need to choose to walk it.